Some art. Hey, look at the art.
I'd love to showcase my art to you. So this is called Chapters of Serenity, a lifespan in strokes. And ever since I was 3 years old, so since 20 years ago, I've been working on this piece. And for every year of my life, I have been doing one stroke on the painting based off of my thoughts, feelings, and experiences throughout life. So, for example, if I were to ask you, if you were to interpret each single stroke of paint, so 1 to 6, and then you've got 7 to 14, and then 15 to 20. How would you personally interpret the first 6 years of life? I would like to see if we see it in the same way, but then once again, we all interpret art differently.
This is so fucking interesting. I'm actually surprised you're doing something actually conscious.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Red, the beginning?
Yes.
That's life. That's out of your mother's vagina. That's you.
That is a perfect expectation of what I'm trying to express.
And simply just that. I mean,
yeah, so basically, if you see things like where I've layered it here, it's kind of a new experience. Like,
okay, so I'll continue, all right?
Yeah, of course, go for it.
Tell me if I got it wrong. Red with the green. The green is the world now. You're in the world, yeah?
This guy knows. This guy knows.
Hey, Basil the Herb. Nice to meet you. All right, that's dirt. That's the darkness in life. So first, you came into life and it was green and it was beautiful, but then you saw the darkness.
Very, very close. You know actually what it was?
Oh, tell me.
It was going off into creche, and it was kind of staying at home with my mum and heading off into a sort of new world. So I kind of had to, it was almost like stepping into a new place, new experiences. I felt a bit almost daunted, scared, but then over time, it was kind of fine. So I just left the next year I was also there, I just left it red because I got used to it.
So it's like shoes that you needed to fit in that you didn't feel that were really fit your feet.
Exactly.
But you had to mold your feet to fit the shoes.
Exactly. And then the next year, this is when I started school. I painted it green once again because it was like stepping into a new world once again.
Fresh, yeah.
And so it was just kind of that. And then I kind of layered the next few years.
When did you start it though, I have to ask?
I started this literally when I was like 7 months old.
No shit.
Yeah, like because my mum was basically an artist, and she doesn't necessarily like to bring her art out into the world, right? But she likes to paint at home when she has spare time, and even specifically recently, she's been doing lots of works related to Ukraine because obviously the whole war going over there. She's been painting different things such as like wheat because it's like the breadbasket of Europe and just different things like that. And then over time, me just learning about art kind of got me interested in it. It's in its own sort of way, but kind of doing things that are more out there, abstract, and that really make you think. Because I would rather think outside of the square than just kind of do what everyone else is doing. I think that's a great way to express yourself out into the world. I
gotta say, very fucking unique. This is the first fucking time I've ever actually seen anyone paint like this. And you started this when you were 6 months old. I want to know the rest of the journey. Can you tell me through it? All right, so green was when you went
to school.
You fresh life. And more to the point, green, like I'm Basil, right? I felt like green's almost like it's representative of you as the herb that you are, having the ability to grow without being constrained by those shoes,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. Beautiful.
But then there was red again.
Red alongside orange. Reasoning for this was because I painted it orange for one kind of reason. One of my childhood friends, we sort of kind of distanced away because he moved away, and orange sort of gives me a feeling of like a bit of uncertainty, but also understanding that although we're not going to see each other, there's still peace into knowing that we had great moments together.
Yeah.
And moving on, I had a bit of a family issue, a divorcing. That's why it's painted so dark as well.
Your parents?
Yeah.
When was that?
That was literally when I was 7 years old. So
7? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It was but look, that's life. 8, it was kind of still getting used to the whole situation. That's why it's very similar to that color. And then 9, I painted it a deep blue because that's a year I would really kind of form my identity with art extremely, like really understand artwork, start really getting into artwork. And then sort of the same with this year, just because, all of a sudden I was still really liking artwork. And then
I just find it interesting, sorry to cut you off, but like the whole blue, you associate blue with art.
Yeah, I do.
And you're wearing blue here, I can see a lot.
Blue is one of my favorite colors.
So for me, blue's like the world.
Yeah, the world, exactly.
So you source your art inspiration from the world.
Yeah, it's almost like I see the world because look at Earth itself, what do you see? You see a lot of blue when you look at it from outer space, obviously.
Archetypally as well.
Exactly. Very true.
The Matrix, Maya, is blue.
Yes, the Maya. Very smart. And so we're talking about this one, we're talking about this one. So I've gone through 7, 8, 9, 10. Moving on to 11. I was in, grade 5 at this point. And this was honestly...
It's like a light orange.
It is light. You know why? You know why it's light? Because it was a very good year for me. It was a year that not only was I really into artwork, I got my first ever Xbox 360 console. And I was playing Call of Duty. And that was a really fun time because all my friends after school used to go on Call of Duty, play. And it was just an overall great year, great friends, great memories. And then finally, we moved on to 12. What does 12 represent? Final year of school. It was a very nerve-wracking year for me because it was almost a transition into high school. And I just left it like that because I was scared. I was like, I'm gonna leave all my friends behind, all this type of stuff. But then once I got to high school, it was mostly fine, despite the fact I also left it orange because it was like I had to leave my friends behind, most of them once again. Some of them came, but I made a lot of new friends.
But it seems like there's not much green, so perhaps like maybe you're into this new environment and you're not sure how you fit in.
Yeah, definitely. And then once the next year hit, next year of schooling, it was fine, it was whatever. Same with this year here. These years were all cool. Like I had a great time.
Fine, whatever doesn't seem right with the whole just red straight up. Seems like it was pretty bad, but we can skip over that one. Yep.
Exactly. It was literally all the same explanation. Then finally we had bit of COVID here when it all started with the outbreak. Yeah. And then, but the COVID's green.
It
is green. You know why? Because I felt myself very tapped in with nature during that year. It's a year that I really broke out and kind of looked at the world in a very different light. And because obviously we weren't seeing friends, I was like, what is something that I can do? I decided to tap in more with nature, start meditating, all of those sort of things. So all in all, although there was a lot of social isolation, I felt very good for the most part. And then finally, I was kind of used to COVID by this year. We were going in and out of lockdowns. It was whatever. And then to the present right now, blue.
Art.
Yes, blue. Hey. Why do you think it's blue?
Because this is what you're doing.
Exactly.
This is your motivation. This is your direction in life.
Exactly.
Like one of my favorite artists from Britain, Ren. He's got a song called "Focus on Your Power." Yeah. Right. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do as well now. Like fuck everything else. A lot of fires going on in my life. I just let them all burn. Focus directly on my art. Do that and only that. And I guess stay tuned. Do you have some final thoughts you'd like to share? Of course. I think whatever you do in this life, I think that you should be doing it for yourself. Don't do it to impress other people. Make sure that you are the one real true version of yourself, even if people don't like it. It's more important to be happy by yourself than to be unhappy surrounded by a lot of people. And agreed. That is my final thoughts on everything. Great. Yeah, on how I'm. Hey, thank you very much, Matt. It was a pleasure, man. And of course, if you would like to, I would like. It explains even more in depth about the painting as well. Yeah, well, definitely, man. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Stay classy, Melbourne.